I just wanted to make this update on March 22nd, right before we're about to announce a snap election, to kind of go through what we're being offered right now by our political candidates, their goals, their promises, the challenges they face. Like, it's a fucking political shit show out there. So I'm going to start off with the Liberal Party. I think Mark Carney is not a good choice for our Prime Minister. You've got a banker running for fucking Prime Minister. He is the smarter version of Trump. He understands how to manipulate the markets with the tools you and I don't get. So their key goals that they want to accomplish are implementing progressive policies focused on climate change and social welfare, achieve economic growth while upholding environmental commitment, and strengthen healthcare and education systems. They promise to replace the consumer carbon tax with an incentive program that rewards green choices. My take on this is they're going to really give incentives for you buying solar. And I'm one of these people. Like, I actually have done this. I've done the Greener Homes loan. The Liberals actually have this right now. This incentive program to update your home, and you get money back for everything you update. However, there are a lot of problems with the process currently. They want to get rid of the GST tax on homes, over 1.5 million for first-time home buyers. They plan to redirect funds from the consumer carbon tax to incentive-based environmental programs. What the fuck does that mean? Don't be a dick. Be a good person. You're Canadian. So we're redirecting funds for the consumer carbon tax, right? Explain to the Canadians how the consumer carbon tax actually helps climate change. Don't have a treasure trove of fucking money in this fucking environmental fund. I can guarantee you could probably slash about 60% of what we give to climate change and actually invest it in climate initiative projects. All of the money. Did you know in the Netherlands there's actually a wind turbine that is silent and can produce more electricity on one turbine on your home than an entire platform of solar panels? Like, why are we not investing in this technology in Canada? We have plenty of fucking wind. Like, come on. We're not going to get it with Mark Carney. Credit card interest rates. They want to cap it at 15, aiming to reduce them to 10. Wait a minute. Am I sure I'm on the Liberal? Our banks are private businesses. They're not owned by Canada. They operate as individual corporations. So when you give them your money, it has nothing to do with the government, and the government has nothing to do with them. They can't do things without massive fucking votes and regulation. We have, like, very few ways of getting things from one way to the other side of the country. You want Canada to be made in Canada? Go figure! We need to build more bridges to our territories. We need to give them the ability to traverse. For example, the United States works as a whole country. They are divided up into states, but trade between them is not as tightly regulated as it is in Canada. Every province acts as their own country. And this is where the whole Quebec debate comes in, because they've always felt like they've been their own country. Another promise that they want is to create 100,000 additional $10 per day childcare spots by integrating daycare facilities into new or renovated federal offices. We need some more direction on that. Enforce regulations to monitor and control profit margins on essential goods. We should be enforcing control positions on essential goods right now, because right now supply chains have been severed. We don't know where we're getting them from. We have an unreliable neighbor. Trump's plan is to bring down each province individually. Don't vote for the Liberals. On to the Conservative Party, you know? Fuck you, Conservatives, for giving the message that we don't give a shit about every Canadian. Saying all that about the LGBTQ community. Like, I don't like the guy either. Pierre, Poilievre, or PP, as everybody's been calling him on the internet. You're named after piss. My Canadian pride is for all of Canada. This is the candidacy that I'm supporting right now. I'm still going to be as harsh, but I understand that he is not the one who's going to be running things. It's his party. The people who actually do and vote and pass things are a party. If you don't have an agreement, you're not going to get a whole lot of movement in our government system. I want to go into their key goals. reducing government spending and eliminating unnecessary contracts, advocating for free market competition and to lower taxation, strengthening national security and emphasizing Canadian sovereignty. I got so scared that I actually bought a gun. So we'll get into their promises. They want to abolish the federal carbon tax, conduct audits on the government contracts and ensure fair pricing and competition, support key industries such as energy, agriculture, and manufacturing. These promises are essentially the basis of how the US operates their economy. They don't have a whole lot of government restrictions across provincial or federal territory. Things we build and grow in Canada are taxed so heavily that it's actually cheaper for Canadians to operate in the US and just sell to Canadians. Our own food, our own natural resources, our own manufacturing, our own tech hubs, these need to be built. But if they're going to get taxed the hell out of, how do you get off the ground? How do you even compete with a US company that can just come in with no real restrictions because we're US partners, right? So they get the benefit of the deal. And meanwhile, an Ontarian can't do business in Alberta without suffering shit tons of tax. Review government contracts and policies to identify inefficiencies. Give us a full transparent audit, line by line, what you spend every dollar on. Your accounting should be fucking perfect. And they also are opposition to social programs and government-funded initiatives. Our social programs are flawed, but at least they give people support right now. Encourage private sector growth through deregulation and tax cuts. Focus on domestic energy production and infrastructure development. I'm not a climate fucking denier. So we really have to be careful while we're scaling companies and building manufacturing that we're also offsetting those carbon negatives by making sure we're planting more trees or building carbon nets or any other of the carbon negative infrastructure that you see across the world being deployed right now. Now to the New Democratic Party. I love what you fight for. Jagmeet Singh is the leader. He's been in that party spot since 2017, which is pretty impressive. This is primarily the party I used to vote for. The key goals that you're trying to implement: promote social justice, equality, and workers' rights. We have that. Expand public health care to ensure affordable access to essential services. Okay. Address housing affordability and support marginalized communities. We already promote social justice, equality, and workers' rights. Expanding healthcare and ensuring affordable access to essential services. We need to ensure that people can get to these services as well. Expanding virtual healthcare would be great. My town has 35,000 people. We have one doctor's clinic that's open once a week. We have an emergency clinic here, but there's plenty of communities that don't. When we have snow, we have centers, and hopefully we have a nurse nearby or a doctor. We'll go into your plans to introduce universal pharmacare and dental care programs. Increase funding for affordable housing and rental assistance. And to implement higher taxes on corporations and the wealthy to fund social programs. That is a toxic phrase. Taking the taxes from the rich and giving to the poor cannot be done the way the NDP kind of are asking for it. Higher taxes on corporations, how? I'm a corporation. I'm a one-man show and I make no money. Are you going to put higher taxes on me? We want to promote corporations being built in Canada. So why not put a higher tax on foreign companies or Canadian companies who aren't living in Canada? Collaborate with unions and advocate for groups to develop worker-friendly policies. Okay, unions are a double-edged sword because unions themselves can become corporations. Yeah, a little fun fact. When I was in my union actually told me who I should vote for, what I should vote for, how I should vote for. On top of that, they sent me propaganda all the time on who they didn't like and who they did. So when government workers are going to the polls, do you not see a massive skew there? Time for the Green Party. Leader is Elizabeth May and Jonathan Petitnat. I don't know how to say that. Key goals: address climate change and promote environmental sustainability. Great goals. Advocate for renewable energy and conservation efforts. We're doing that a little bit. Encourage grassroots democracy and community-based solutions. I like that idea. I would love this. Yeah, Let's put this in somebody's fucking system. We can work towards fixing things in our communities instead of focusing on a blanket solution across the fucking board. But I have to say, out of everything right here, eliminating the carbon tax, and then that. Promises. Okay, transition from 100% renewable energy by 2050. I do have to say, we have a lot of private owned utility companies. Good luck getting that past those lobbies. Ban single-use plastics and reduce industrial pollution. Great overall things. Support small-scale sustainable agriculture and low food systems. Again, vertical farming and agriculture is becoming big in many cities. This could be a benefit to just local communities importing food. If we could support that and give incentive for people to build that, I'm all there for you. Plans. Implement federal policies to incentivize renewable energy adoption. So we do have federal policies. They need more, and I'd like to see that back in. Partner with environmental organizations to rescue conservation programs. I'd like to know a little bit more details because I wouldn't want to partner with somebody like PETA or terrorist groups. Okay. Provide subsidies to farmers and businesses adopting sustainable practices. I also agree with this. Farmers shouldn't pay shit. They make our food. They shouldn't be paying for their internet. They shouldn't be paying for their tools. They should be paying their workers. But, like, they should have tons of money because they shouldn't be taxed at all. Period. They make our food. Let's get into the challenges. Limited resources. Yeah, they're such a small party. I didn't even know the fucking names of the leader. A lot of good ideas, a lot of good plans, but what's going on? On to the Bloc Québécois. So their leader is Yves-François Blanchet. I hope I said that right. He's been the leader since 2019. His key goals are to advocate for Quebec's interests and autonomy, promote preservation of Quebec's cultural and linguistic identity, support environmental policies that align with Quebec priorities. We are going to become a society that's not going to rely on needing to have the same language to speak. Like, I have headphones right here. They're called TIMECODES. And when I'm having a conversation with somebody in a language I don't know, we both put one in, and we both have our conversation in our normal language. We have technology that bridges these gaps. Promises are to oppose federal initiatives that infringe on Quebec's jurisdiction, enhance support for Quebec's cultural and linguistic identity, increase health transfers to provinces and territories, aiming at the federal government to cover at least 35% of all healthcare spending. I do really think healthcare should be federally regulated, purely because you're taking the ideals of each province out of the system, supporting based on numbers and needs. Advocate for Quebec-centric policies in Parliament. Utilize Quebec's strong renewable energy sector. If I'm not mistaken, you just gave us the nasty deal of electricity. Yeah. The Churchill power station? I can come at you. I know some things. All right. The PPC, the People's Party of Canada. Honestly, I didn't even know this was a party, so forgive me. Leader is Maxime Bernier, been leader since 2018. Their key goals are to promote individual freedom, reduce government intervention, advocate for free market policies and reduce immigration, oppose official multiculturalism, and favor of promoting unifying Canadian identity. The fuck is wrong with people? Guys, Canadian identity is multiculturalism. We are a multiculturalist country. People came from Ireland to Newfoundland, from Britain to Canada, China, Japan. We don't care what you look like. As long as you're not a dick, we don't care. Yeah. I'll sum up the People's Party of Canada's plan. It is the Conservative Party plan with a shit ton of racism. And it kind of disgusts me. We're hating individuals, not ideas and plans. We are supposed to talk to each other, to be able to look past our hate. So I'm just asking Canada to please, when you're going to the polls, try something different. I'll let you go.